Hello everyone! In this video we will show you several incredible discoveries from World War II found by treasure hunters and share the stories of their discovery. Let's go! Illinois II. The wreckage of the Black Death, as the Soviet Illinois II aircraft was called by German soldiers, was found in a swampy forest near the town of Mga, Leningrad Oblast, on August 31, 1942. This plane was shot down. At that time, fierce battles were taking place near Mga. From August 27 to 31, 3 Soviet pilots were killed in aerial combat. 2 went missing, and 4 others, who had lost their planes, survived. On August 31, 21-year-old Sergeant Nikolai Trofimovich Glyakin, a native of Oryol, was on another combat flight. He didn't return from the mission. According to the report from the crews, Sergeant Glyakin was shot down by enemy fighters, crashed into the ground, and exploded. This was described by Captain Starodumov, the commander of 211th Assault Aviation Regiment, in his report to the commander of the 281st Assault Aviation Division. The large losses in the flight crew are explained by the insufficient experience of the regiment's pilots, who began combat operations under difficult weather conditions from day one. While the main crew members had experience, it was mostly in the southern regions. During the combat missions, our fighters provided insufficient air cover, and the inexperienced young flight crew was unable to defend themselves against enemy fighters. 3 search parties were sent to find the Downwell, Illinois II. The work in the swampy forest was difficult, but the team did not give up. Gradually, they began recovering more and more pieces. When combat shells were found at the excavation site, the searchers called in rescuers. The participants of the operation discovered not only fuselage parts, fragments of wings, engine components, and the cockpit, but also rocket shells, RS-82, and cannon armament. In the excavated cockpit, the remains of the pilot and his personal belongings were found. By the serial numbers of the engine components, it was confirmed that Nikolai Glyakin had piloted the Illinois II. The armored cockpit and some parts were sent to the museum, and the pilot was given a military burial with full honors. WW2 fighter. Another World War II aircraft was discovered by treasure hunters from Russia near St. Petersburg. The wreckage of the single-seat Soviet WW2 fighter had sunk 2 meters into the swampy soil. Fragments of the fuselage, the pilot's map, and weaponry were found. The thick clay resisted for a long time, reluctant to reveal the secret of the aircraft's final resting place. The names Lavochkin, Gudkov, and Gorbunov belonged to the aircraft's designers. The first letters of their surnames gave the aircraft its name, WW2. Soviet aircraft designers developed this combat plane before the war, and it later became one of the main frontline fighters. The WW2 provided cover for Soviet Illinois II and P-2 bombers, and engined in aerial combat with German fighters. The gun was loaded with 20mm shells. The barrel was bent, indicating the plane had fallen almost vertically. One can only imagine the force with which the plane struck the ground, disintegrating into small fragments. The searchers were particularly interested in the metal parts that could reveal a serial number, and such parts were indeed found. On a fragment of the engine cowl, the last 4 digits read 2889. This allowed the identification of the pilot and the aircraft. On September 9, 1942, Sergeant Ivan Kuzmich Lyakishev, born in 1919, did not return from a combat mission. He was from the village of Novomikhailivka, Orel Oblast. No photo of him exists. The casualty report only lists his sister, Maria Lyakisheva, and the address was Moscow. This was a great stroke of luck. The paper survived in the routing map case. The call sign Burya, Storm, was still legible. Inside the pocket was a pencil, with which the pilot, whose remains were never found at the crash site, had scratched an approximate map of the area. The search team of Wings of the Motherland preserved every scrap of paper. In addition to the maps and sketches, the case contained 2 empty notebooks and a commander's ruler. The fighter was shot down during the Sinyavina offensive operation when, in the fall of 1942, the forces of the Volkhov and Leningrad fronts attempted to break the siege of Leningrad. It is presumed that he managed to bail out, but since the area was occupied by the enemy, he most likely died, either while crossing the front line or simply in the air. We sustained quite heavy losses. On that day alone, 12 planes were listed as shot down across all the regiments fighting in that area, said Viktor Sobolev, the head of the Wings of Motherland search squad. The aircraft parts were transferred to a local museum. Partisan cache. 2 young men from Ukraine were walking through the forest with metal detectors, searching for World War II artifacts. Their attention was drawn by a loud signal from the metal detector, indicating a large metal object on the ground. Carefully digging, the treasure hunters discovered a hidden stash of ammunition and Molotov cocktails. A Molotov cocktail is a glass bottle filled with flammable liquid and a mechanism for ignition. These bottles were widely used by the Red Army to destroy German armored vehicles during the war. Also retrieved from the hole were several zinc boxes with labels in Polish. The man carefully opened one, finding ammunition in excellent condition. It seemed that moisture had not penetrated the box, and it is possible that these rounds could still be used. What do you think? Should ammunition that has been buried in the ground for around 80 years be used? That's all for today, friends. You can support our channel by sending a super thanks for any amount or by becoming a channel sponsor for just $1. Good luck to all of you!